Sometimes, the people who try the hardest to be nice are the ones who get ignored the most. They help everyone. They avoid conflict. They always say yes. And somehow, they end up being taken for granted. But why does this happen? Today, we explore the psychology of why being too nice can actually backfire.
Sometimes, being too nice quietly destroys your respect. Most people believe that kindness automatically earns admiration, but human psychology doesn't always work that way. In reality, when someone is consistently too nice, people don't always value them more. Sometimes, they value them less. And the surprising part is, this often happens without anyone realizing it consciously. So why does this happen? Why can being overly nice sometimes reduce the respect you receive from others? To understand this, we need to look deeper into human social psychology. The human brain is constantly scanning for signals of confidence, signals of emotional strength, signals of social value. And many of these judgments happen automatically in the background of our minds. When someone is always agreeable, always available, and always accommodating, the brain begins to form very subtle conclusions. Not because kindness is wrong, but because extreme niceness can sometimes signal low personal boundaries. One of the biggest psychological factors behind this effect is predictability. The human mind is naturally drawn to people who show emotional balance. But when someone says yes to everything, avoids every disagreement, and never expresses their own needs, they become extremely predictable. And in social perception, extreme predictability often reduces perceived strength, because the brain starts to feel there is no social risk involved. Another powerful element is boundary signaling. Healthy boundaries are one of the clearest indicators of self-respect. When a person can calmly say no when something doesn't feel right, others subconsciously register a sense of inner stability. But when someone never pushes back, never disagrees, and never protects their own time, people may begin, often without realizing, to take that person for granted. There is also a deeper emotional dynamic happening beneath the surface. People naturally respect those who appear selective with their time and energy. Why? Because selectiveness signals value. If someone gives unlimited attention, unlimited availability, and unlimited approval, the brain may interpret this as low social scarcity. And psychologically speaking, scarcity increases perceived value. Another subtle reason over-niceness can backfire is emotional framing. Calm kindness communicates quiet confidence, but excessive niceness can sometimes appear as approval-seeking behavior. And the human brain is extremely sensitive to emotional neediness, even when no one consciously notices it. Energy is felt before it is understood. However, this does not mean you should become cold or distant. True psychological strength comes from balance. The most respected people are not the harshest and not the softest. They are the most emotionally grounded. They know when to be warm. They know when to pause. And they know when to protect their own boundaries. When kindness is combined with quiet self-respect, something very powerful happens. People begin to listen more carefully. They pay closer attention to what you say, and your presence starts to carry more psychological weight. So the goal is not to stop being kind. The goal is to be calmly selective with your energy. Because sometimes, the people who command the most respect in the room are not the loudest and not the nicest either. They are the ones who understand their value and move through the world with quiet confidence. If this perspective changed the way you see human behavior,
Consider subscribing for more psychology insights about the hidden patterns behind everyday interactions.